This content has been brought to you by my Patreons, and if you'd like to join them, link is in the description.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Overthrow Media, your best place for politics, hip-hop, and life. It's Bigg Villainous, your comrade revolutionary, dope-ass MC, and an international sex symbol. Today, we're gonna follow up. We got our guest, Carolyn. We're gonna follow up on the second part of the story after I got stabbed, the blowback that I got when I came to Seattle. We'll come right back.
Living in the house of usher, parasitical lighting structure. The plague begins to cluster in the house of usher.
We can just do this by, like, you know, if you anything I can start talking about it, and if you want to pry or know anything, like, then you can, like, just let me know what you want. And let me know what you want to know about, or like want me to expound on things. So like I was talking about last time after I got stabbed, we came back from North Dakota in a snowstorm blizzard, and we get back here, and afterwards, like, because there was a big fundraiser because of the emergency that happened, and we reached out to people, reached out to our networks, and people were able to raise money, and it was really supportive, and I appreciate everybody who donated because it got us back from North Dakota after the situation happened. But when I got back here, almost immediately turned like gaslighting and victim blaming.
So you go back to Seattle.
Yeah. So they were like, you got stabbed over breadsticks. Like, people were saying shit like this. I had Slack messages.
Breadsticks?
Yeah, because the conflict, I don't know if you remember, I was talking about, like, it was basically he went and, like, we got a wrong order, and I couldn't eat the bread because it make me sick. And I was like, look, can we trade since you can eat bread? And he's like, no, you can go walk back by yourself. And by the way, we had just been, like, getting eyeballed by all these racist DAPA workers. So we, like, it actually wasn't safe to do that. So we just had to, like, you know what I mean? And I was going to literally have, like, the shits because of it, like, being on the toilet, and, like, probably TMI for all those. So, but, so when I came back, people were like, y'all were just, like, toxic masculinity, y'all got stabbed, you got stabbed over breadsticks. I was like, yo, like, this nigga, like, in fact, one of the people, let's call him P, I reached out to them, as well as them, and talked to him before the incident happened about this fool keep threatening me. Because he threatened me, like I said, 4 times over that trip. And I was like, yo, like, I'm trying to be cool. Like, I'm really trying to be cool. And, like, I talked to him, and there's supposed to be a conversation that never happened. And then, you know, one of the comrades got arrested, so that kind of diverted from it. That's how we ended up in that hotel in the first place. So there was, like, there's a bunch of things that went in between it actually being addressed. But it was really frustrating to see people, like, act like I didn't try to de-escalate it before. Right. You feel me?
Like, you were just being reactive and, like, all this hullabaloo and like, instead of it's like, no, you were literally, like, this person was pushing your buttons and trying so hard to get a rise out of you. And that person was cultivating conflict out of thin air, and you were doing your best to keep the peace.
They literally kept threatening me, like, and I was like, when I was pointing out, I was like, bro, if this was, most of our organization was black women, so it was like, if any of y'all would have had that happen to you, like, ain't nobody would have questioned you stepping up to him after he threatened you 4 fucking times.
Absolutely.
Like, nobody questioned it, and if he did something to you, you know what happened to him that night? He would have got stomped out by everybody there if he would have, like, rolled reverse in the situation. And I'm not expecting people to do that. Them throwing him out the room, people, like, finally doing it, was like, that was enough for me. I don't need y'all to do my fighting for me. I don't need that, whatever it is, what it is. But then when I come back, and there's, like, now the person who P had already flown out before any of that happened. So they flew out because they were only there for a few days, and then flew out because we didn't want it to be just like this masculine trip, because most of the women that were there could not make it, and so it was like, so they came in.
And it was crazy situations with, like, weather, like, it was a precarious trip to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, the snowstorm was crazy. It was insane. Like, I've never seen whiteouts before until then.
Oh God, it's terrible. I'm getting anxious just thinking.
And so, like, the thing is, like, but when I got back, like, there people were literally telling me it was my fault that I got stabbed. People were literally saying that, like, because of breadsticks and just being toxically masculine. Like, no, like, someone can't consistently threaten my safety. Like, that's not something that can happen and expect me not to respond at some point. Like, I was trying really hard not to respond. I was trying to keep it, like, I don't know, professional damn near, like we're professional revolutionaries, and I don't know, but that's a really good thing. Revolutionaries are revolutionaries, and professionals are capitalist construct. So, but you know, and so I'm like, yo, like, I was legit trying, and I was stuck in this room with this dude for fucking multiple days on top of it.
So, what do you think about all that I'm talking about? Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feeling about it. Also, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell so you can stay notified. Make sure to put it on all so you get every notification. And follow me on all my social media. That means villainous_music at TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitch, and Patreon.
And the thing is, like, I did call him a dick, so I guess that's what everybody's mad about. I call him a dick because he's being a fucking dick. I was
Big
like,
fucking deal.
I
called you a dick. Like, that's not.
Exactly. I didn't threaten you.
You might as well have called him a butthead.
Yeah, I think I did call him
butthead.
Asshole or something. Not butthead, but like, still, you know, it's just
We
similar.
start using butthead
Yeah.
again.
Man, but it's really crazy coming back because like that, and there's supposed to be accountability process. A specific mayoral candidate was supposed to host it, and did not happen. Yes, I called him out. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired because people have done a lot of fuck shit and everybody act like they don't. So I'm super good. But like was supposed to have a process, and it wasn't a process like I asked for, right? But I agreed to. But one of the things that became is I had to agree to make space for him to be in certain spaces that space that could be his. I was like, no. If I show up, he just need to fucking leave.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of
yes.
He tried to kill me. Like, you're not gonna ask me to make space for this nigga.
And there's no comment. It's literally you walk away. Him, get out.
Exactly. You just gotta go. You just gotta get like dip. Like it is. Like if I walk in, he leaves. End of story. Like that's like I didn't try to kill him. It wasn't a mutual thing. Like, but it's like whatever. All right, bet. So I was like, nah, I'm not willing to do that. And so because of that, the process never happened. I was like, all right, well, whatever, y'all back. And one of the things that they said was like they had to do that for like someone who perpetrated against them. I was like, yeah, I would back you if you didn't want to do that. Like I would have your fucking back. I would whoop their ass if they want to leave. Like it's what I would do, and I've done it before. So don't say I wouldn't, because I haven't done it for you specifically, but I would. Just on like some legit shit. You shouldn't have to be stuck in with your abusers or people who have done serious violence to you. Like that should not be something you should have to be stuck in a space with if they're just dead ass in the wrong. If it's like a back and forth thing that just escalated and you all both did some shit, okay, I can understand. Like there has to be middle ground. But when someone actually just escalates to that level, and it was like at most a fist fight level, that's a whole like. Especially when they're the ones that provoked it, they gotta leave that space. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's time for a word from the sponsors, right? If you want to support the content I'm putting out, make sure to cop some of this dope ass merch or support me on Patreon.
And so that was the start of the problem zone. So.
Because what month? I forget the chronology. This was
like November, December. So this is around my fucking birthday too.
Right? Because for some reason February was in my head, but that's because I had a bunch of friends I think who went out there in February.
My birthday time frame is not good for me, cause that like.
But it's my birthday too.
But I'm saying it's not good for me though. I'm gonna be 100 with you, cause like that. Not only did that thing happen around that time period, but like the last thing that happened like a few months back was around my birthday too. Where this other fool tried to kill me, which some folks know about, you know, because it's like the fundraiser we've been doing and shit. So some of y'all know a little bit about what happened. No, when I was at the mansion.
Oh my god.
I don't want to say too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I said, that time of year, it just in general, y'all, is horrible for me. And that's my birthday. My birthday December 11th. So like, or anytime around that time, I just have bad times. I don't know why, but it just is what it is.
Your Mercury goes in Gatorade.
Tastes like Gatorade.
Rondo the Thirst Mutilator had come to replace water virtually everywhere.
I mean, retrograde.
Okay, that Gatorade. Gatorade sponsor. Gatorade sponsor. I need some money from y'all. Y'all, we said your name. We need some bread. Fetty. It's crazy. Now at this point, it's been so long, I can actually sit here and laugh about it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's scary fucking shit. But I mean, the way you're telling the story, calling him like.
Honestly, this like gaslighting and victim blaming that happened when I got back, like
from like
literally, yes, from organizers, like literally. And this thing is like, I'm never gonna trust organizers again to be like in that situation, except for my FTP comrades, because bad track record. They don't know how to handle serious shit. They make big deals about small shit, and anything serious happens, victim blaming, gaslighting, especially, I say especially when it's a nigga. Especially then. Like, because we can't be survivors of shit. You know what I mean? Other people can be survivors, but niggas can't be survivors of trauma for shit. Nobody gives a fuck unless we dead, and then people want to march for us supposedly, which is really not about us. It could be 100. Like I'm betting right now. My bad. But
no, yeah.
But like, and so, okay, so we come back and we have a whole like accountability process. Like everybody who's on that tip, we had to be in an accountability process. Besides the cat, only guy wasn't there.
Like the village council, like you're being
a part of our group, the Black Book Club. So part of that group, I don't give a fuck. But like a part of that group, we had to come back and get basically yelled at by a bunch of sisters for like 8 hours. In a room where they screamed at us about how fucking fucked up we are, how we ruined how we hurt the reputation of Black Book Club. I'm like, bro, this fool tried to kill me, and y'all talking about our reputation.
That's some Gilead shit. That's like some Handmaid's Tale shit. Yeah, that's
And then it brought up some valid stuff. Like one of the people who was fielding a lot of labor was one of the newest people, and it really burnt them out. And I understand, and I feel it. But like honestly, now looking back, I'm sorry, you don't get to have that conversation with me like that.
Right.
Like be 100, not give it a while at least, and also you got to respect what happened to me. Those things, like if you respect that and like give me a few months, to, like process what happened to me. Maybe try to be supportive first. Like, yo, this person tried to kill you. I'm sorry. Like, boom, boom, and then we'll criticize your mistakes, possible mistakes later.
Yeah.
Like I think I would do that for anybody. You know what I mean? That's like if that you went through some serious shit, that's how I'd navigate it. But instead, it became the thing where we got screamed at for hours, right? And complete the process, right? And I just left. I was like, after I did everything that was asked of me. There's actually another process that was way better though. We did have one with another organization. I'm not gonna put it out there because I don't know if they want their business in the streets. And they were actually really good about it. And we sat down, we had a conversation about aspects. And there was other aspects that were people were concerned about like some things. And I felt we addressed it and like, okay, like we're about to do an action with the vehicle that we're using, and it made someone uncomfortable who's gonna be riding with it back. I wish they would have communicated with me in the time because I would have like resolved it, but they felt really like, you know,
yo, sorry, I know Carolyn just disappeared and I'm outside now, but what happened was the camera died, or not really died, it just ran out of memory. So I have to give you all a little bit more updates about this. So the process I'm just talking about, basically what happened with that is, you know, we talked about it, and one of the things that were like, well, they didn't appreciate how I responded to the person G who ended up stabbing me like in the first place after he threatened me. And I was like, look, that's cool. I feel that I understand, but if you're gonna expect that from me, from not to respond to like threats of violence, I need people to be community members and intervene. And then people owned that they weren't being very good community members. That to ask that of me, they should have had my back as far as like the threats being put against me. And so that process went really well. So that actually worked out, and like shit got mended to some degree, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, one of the people that had issues we didn't show up, so we couldn't really air that out. As far as the truck thing, I don't know if I fully covered that, but basically, it was just about like the process of like, you know, communicating more. I wasn't being the best communicator I could have been, and they felt pressure that they would have to ride home in a vehicle that was used for a direct action, which they could just communicate that wasn't cool, and we'd have found another vehicle, because there was, I don't know, at Standing Rock there was a lot of vehicles to choose from. So anyways, we got the process, we owned our pieces, and it was good. Now, like I said, I had walked away from Black Book Club. The situations that happened after were also more of that gaslighting and stuff, because people started telling people that I was violent when I was organizing, right? I stepped away from their organizing, and I just started doing Block the Juvie organizing, which was like musical events that were used as direct actions against a juvenile, and it was very effective actually. So people started spreading lies about me that I'm violent because I got stabbed. And so at that point, because they were trying to like mess up organizing that was way bigger than me anyways, and I aired stuff out. Like I put on multiple social medias exactly the amount of gaslighting and shit that happened after I got back from getting stabbed. And you know, it wasn't good strategically, but it wasn't wrong. But people started labeling me as abusive for airing people out publicly. And now the same folks are the people who are sitting there spreading lies about me, saying I'm violent because I stepped up to somebody who was threatening me, and then I ended up getting stabbed for it. And I completely disagree with that. Some of the justification that some of their allies gave later was that some people know that you're cool to use violence in a situation and aren't okay with that. I was like, but I've always been that way. And people liked it when it was to their benefit. People liked it when I was stepping up to misogynists or cops or other people to defend, I mean, let's be 100 women and the comrades that are men too, but like specifically that situation, people liked it. But then when it was me standing for myself, it was unacceptable. And so, you know, I just told people what happened. I told people, like, you know, I got stabbed. I censored the name of the person who stabbed me because I don't want to bring nobody no charges. I don't believe in throwing people in prison. But then I aired out, like, you know, the gaslighting and victim blaming that happened from this organization. So because of that, I was labeled as abusive. And I really am curious what people's definition of abuse is, because conflict isn't abuse, right? Like, abuse is about trying to have power over people. And I wasn't trying to have power over anybody, but I was trying to defend myself and air my side of what happened out. Especially that I was like, bro, if this was to happen to them, ain't nobody would do this to them. And and that was what happened. That was the ramifications of like going through trauma. And I ended up stepping away from Seattle organizing after that. I mean, I've been to a couple things, I've done some things, but generally I don't trust people anymore, at least in the Seattle scene. People are about their own interest, and other things have happened since then where I've seen some of the people who are involved, you know, protect pedophiles and shit like that. So it gets kind of wild. I think one of the things that I got from these situations, from that situation, as well as a couple others, we can't romanticize people. Whether they're black women or black men or lumpen proletariat, people are people, and romanticization is toxic. You allow people to do fucked up abusive things, and that was actually abusive the way they did it to me, in my opinion. Like, they literally flex power over me and try to make me bend to their will, versus like some actual accountability. But we can't like romanticize people. It just always leads to bad situations. It always leads to toxicity. People are all fallible, me included. All of us are fallible, and we got to acknowledge that and realize that people will fuck up sometimes. Now, I'm not saying I haven't fucked up. I fucked up, but I don't think me stepping up to someone threatening me is fucking up. I don't think the altercation that I had was me fucking up. I think it was community failure to have solidarity with somebody because, you know, people like are stuck in honestly patriarchal mindsets. They can talk feminism, they talk all those things, but a lot of feminists are patriarchal, to be 100. Like, the fact that I'm supposed to, you know, man up and handle and just take abuse. Like, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not with that. You know what I mean? Not to mention, like, nigga, I'm genderqueer. Fuck the bullshit. So, you know, it is what it is, bro. Like, I mean, I just learned a lot from that. I learned how I'm going to navigate moving forward because of that. Anyways, thanks for rocking with me. I'm Outro. And, yeah. Catch y'all later.
Walking through the crease and the cracks of the streets, struggling for some food and a bed to sleep, while trying to cause overthrow. I'm feeling weak, ideology buff.
I look fly, I look good, took my swag, wish you could. I look good, I look good, oh mama, oh my.
It's recording.
Ah! Oh, you punked me!
I punk you?
You juked me! I just got
What do you think?
BP juked.
What do you think it meant? Like when I was like,
You're gonna get a rubber band, dude.
Hey, what was supposed to mean when I came over here and like was like sat down?
Oh my god. Well,
All right.
fool me once, shame on me. Teach a man to fool me, and I'll be fooled for life.